Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Trisha.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
So, today, all you creepy people, we have a very special extra bonus episode. We're going to be talking to Trisha, who you might recognize the name from our Ravens Manor episode. She told us her personal stories. She was very nice. She reached out to us through Instagram and told us these great stories that she had from Ravens Manor when it was McCormick and Schmick's. Oh, I said it right. The first time. I always mess up on that one. And she listened to our episode and she has some very interesting things to add and wanted to share with all of you guys.
Woo woo.
Yeah.
So excited. So yeah, I like they mentioned, I worked there for about maybe like 3 years almost. And it was just a really special place. And I really my heart just melted when you pulled that card, the tarot card,
Yeah.
the family card.
Oh,
Yeah, talking about all the
Yeah.
family. It even had like 2 little kids on the card, right?
I think so. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what card it was, and I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah. But it was
yeah.
all about like family. That was what the
Yeah.
card was.
Totally. And that's how it felt there. Like it just was like a huge family. And me being 22, 23 years old, like still fairly young and never really had a job where I'd had that sort of family type dynamic. It was amazing to be embraced by everyone. So it was a really special place. After listening to you guys' podcast, by the way, you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really fun. And me and my girlfriends actually had a little wine night and I made pasta and we listened to it all together.
Oh,
I love that.
Made a thing out of it and
Oh my gosh.
got a little tearful at times because it was such a special place.
Yeah.
And then after listening to everything, I was just wanted to kind of go more into detail about how a lot of other things kind of could correlate to this, what I refer to as an entity. The female presence that is so strong and I feel like it's still there very much so. I personally was the third out of 3 young ladies to get pregnant while working there in a very short period of time, a 6-month increment. And so the big joke was don't drink the water.
That's great.
Don't drink the water at McCormick and Schmick's.
I won't.
Yeah, no.
So that really does kind of fall into place with this lonely lady whose presence was just so strong there. I know that you had mentioned the rose fragrance and just of the heels. And I just feel like there might be something that really is telling me in my heart and soul that she's just desperately wanted a family and was her life was cut off pretty short into her existence. And it's just sad. And so maybe whenever we first would bring our babies around, I guess I want to say the presence, it never felt mean or
not hostile.
No, but just sad. It would bring a lot of sadness to a really happy place. And so when you're in such a happy place, you will pick up on that, especially if you have that kind of already have that in you. I feel
because you're pretty sensitive to things, right?
Yeah. So whenever our babies would be together, occasionally we'd bring them to work because we want our kids to get to know each other. It just felt like it was more of a sad time there. There was kind of for me at least, I don't want to speak for anyone else, but just kind of this sadness around when it should have been a happy time. And so that kind of falls into place with whoever she is. I wish I could give her a name because I feel like I don't want to just keep we'll see. So okay, so there's this other thing, and I'm I have such bad ADD, so just bear with me because
it's okay.
I'll go all over the place. I'll be and then this one time. So I feel like Rose is suiting in many ways. So Rose, because of the perfume, it just when I said it like seemed really fitting.
It feels right.
And then just like having not really nightmares, but dreams like of being trapped. And like whenever you mentioned in your podcast about there being like a postage place or stamp,
Yeah.
like I had no idea about that. And I've had this dream where I'm like this little girl, and I'm like, it's like really, really, like only reason I know that it's like a long time ago is because there's like horse and carriages that are like going on the street, and I can see them from the inside of the plane.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, and I have like I mean, I think it's me. At least I think it's me. Like I don't have a reflection, but like I can't see myself, but like I'm looking at my hands in my dream and my feet, and I can see that I'm wearing like different clothing,
Yeah.
And
dreams are like that.
Right?
You don't get the full picture.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always just assumed it was me. But I'm looking at all these like big bricks of like what are rubber stamps, like I guess rubber stamps. And I'm trying to mail a letter. And so I don't know if there was, I don't recall you saying anything about there being mail or anything to do with that there, but I'm trying desperately to get this letter mailed, and it's inside McCormick and Schmick's. And I did. So I was like, when you said that, I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. That's so random. Like,
That is so weird. And that's like one of the last things that I was able to figure out about the building too. I was kind of like, oh, it like used to be a rubber stamp company. Like that's not super interesting. Should I even include it in? But I was like, no, it's like the history of the building. So yeah, I want to say something about it. So I'm really glad that I did.
Well, and there was so little history that like anybody could find. I know, we talked to other people that tried to look into the history of it and had a really tough time finding anything. So it seems like it was kind of like it needed to be in there and it felt insignificant. But when that's all you know, and now looking at it after the fact,
it was significant to you.
It was. Wow. And it was almost like reassuring, because I find a lot of, for me, myself, like I find a lot of truths in my dreams. And so when those truths are uncovered, it's like, it's pretty cool. Cause then I'm like validated. I'm like, oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to know what the letter says.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never, just like you said, dreams, you don't have.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
But really, what's the hot goss in that letter? The tea, all of it. I need to know.
So if you ever have the dream again, try to open the letter.
I know.
I will try.
Do you have those kinds of dreams where you find that you can interact at all? Or do you feel like mostly when you dream about, I mean, especially in this space, you feel like you're led, or like that you don't necessarily control the scenario?
With this specific reoccurring dream, I'm just there. Like I don't recall how I got there. It's almost like somebody just stuck me there like a puzzle piece. And then I'm looking outside of the windows and I see the horse and carriage and then I looking down at my feet, and then I have this envelope and I'm like, I'm in a stamp store. But weird. With other dreams that I've had, because I have always suffered from night terrors since I was little.
Oh gosh.
And so I was able to get to a point with a specific dream where I actually like stopped and went and left and got myself out of the house.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I was
and I feel like some people report that they can kind of control aspects of dreams, and that would have sounded like a dumb question if she said, "Oh no, I never can influence my dreams," because a lot of people can't.
Yeah.
I feel like probably most people would say they can't, but I had a feeling that like I don't know, something told me to ask on that, but it's interesting that you don't seem to be able to like influence or control that specific dream.
One. Yeah, almost like it's just like a memory, like a past life memory type of thing.
And now that you mentioned the word memory, that's kind of what it feels like more than a dream.
Feels like.
It almost feels like I'm reminiscing about something that happened to me before, rather than rather than like the other ones where it's been like I'm like, oh God, I'm here again. Oh, like
Wow.
and like I don't want to go in the house. Don't go in the house. Okay, you're not going in the house. Go the other direction. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Crazy.
it's a cool spot, and I went there actually about a month ago with some friends from our work, and we checked it out.
Yeah.
Did a little tour and stuff, and they've done a wonderful job there. It's just thick in history, and talked to the owners. They were super nice, and they are actually asking us a bunch of questions about, because there's you guys referenced the piano, I think.
Yeah.
And that piano, oh my gosh, like I don't get creeped out very easily, like unless, well, that's not true. I do get creeped out, but like it takes a lot to get, spooked. But when that thing would like play on its own, holy moly, I would just be like, okay, I hear you, I hear you. That's enough. Like,
Is it the same piano that's there now?
it is.
Or
Yeah.
oh my gosh. So
yeah.
where is the piano? Is it the one by the stairs or is it a different one?
It's the one by the stairs, but it used to be up. Like, okay, so where the bar is, above the bar, there used to be this like little, I guess it's like an inlet. I don't know how to describe it. And there was some stairs, and you go up there, and then the piano player would play up there.
Okay.
So, like he'd be like overlooking the restaurant.
And they don't have that there anymore, do
No,
they?
they don't have. They put it up differently.
I was like looking for that kind of thing, but that's crazy that that's the same piano too. That's something that I wanted to know.
Yeah.
The owner was actually saying, he was asking us, he's like, do you know where it came from? He's like, when we bought the building, it was here. And I'm like,
yeah, interesting.
That's also pretty cool, because it's like, oh, so it's like randomly shows up like at a stamp store, because
yeah, like did McCormick and Schmick's buy the piano, or was it there? Like,
I'm sure. I mean,
they must have, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd think, but there's really never been, no one's ever really, I guess, dove down that rabbit hole with it.
Yeah,
but
maybe they'll hear this and
yeah, right. Maybe somebody will be like, I know, and they'll contact you and tell you, because I'd be interested too. And then the bar itself is still original, and I believe my friend, one of my other friends who worked there, knows more about it, but it was shipped from another country in pieces.
Oh wow. Yeah,
the bar itself. So, and
I'm surprised that it's still there, like with the no vacancy lounge, like we're doing that $1 million remodel that they did. I'm surprised that they kept the bar, but I guess like it's a bar, it's already there. Why would you replace it type of thing? But
yeah,
so that's pretty cool.
It is cool. And I think maybe somebody was smart enough to be like, hey, this is like worth a lot of money. So like salvage it and like try to incorporate it with your club.
Yeah.
That crazy nightclub that was there for 2 years.
Maybe they were going to change out the bar and they ran up the $1 million in renovations, and they were like, all right, we'll just keep the same bar.
I wonder sometimes, like, just recently I've been thinking about it. It's kind of been weighing on my heart a bit. Like, if reaching out to Raven's Manor and just being like, would you be like interested in like letting her go? I feel like she wants to leave. Like, I feel like
doing like I don't know what they're called.
Well, neither do I, but like there's got to be something. Like, I just get this feeling of her being trapped. And it's sad to me a little bit, because I feel like that was like the closest to a family and closest to like friends, maybe, that, and I know it seems silly, but
I'm wondering if she's making any connections to the people that work there now, and like I wonder if the same thing's gonna happen, like a bunch of people get pregnant all at once, and
we'll check back in with their staff in like 6 months and see how things are looking.
She's like, oh, new family.
Oh my gosh.
But that would be really interesting if they would do, I can't think of the word, it's not like a seance, but like,
well, and it wouldn't really be like exorcism would be like a word that you might think of, or
where's
like
Frederick? We need his help in this one.
I was literally thinking this whole time. I'm like, where is Frederick when you need him?
He would
Because
know.
he would know the word. He would know the word. But
may I ask you, Fred?
we'll ask him.
He is the paranormal investigator that we interviewed for that episode.
Oh, that's so funny because like a week and a half ago, we got a kitten and we named him Fred.
Oh my gosh.
My daughter named him Fred. I was like, okay, like,
oh, that is so cute.
random.
I know, but that's like, that kind of freaks me out a little bit.
That's why I was like, Frederick.
What are the odds?
Because I said, because I was like, can you call him Frederica? Because like I just like thought that was cuter.
Cute.
And
Yeah.
his name's Fred. And I'm like, and she's 13. I'm like, okay, whatever you want to.
No.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
we'll have to tell him.
Yeah, no kidding. That's so funny.
I would definitely think, I think that would be interesting to do that. And they could maybe even, I don't know. I've heard I work as a server at Cocktail Waitress now part-time. And one of the girls I work with said that they do like after hour, like Ouija board stuff there.
Ooh.
That's not my jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not me either. Yeah.
It's my jam.
I mean, I fully support it, like whatever people want to do, but like,
do what you want, but do it after I leave your house, right, Cassie?
I did. I waited until you left.
Oh no.
I did a Ouija board after she left my Halloween party, and nothing happened during, but then when everyone else left, there was this one battery operated candle that kept going on. Like it was like wanting me to play. It was like, come back and play with me.
No,
I didn't do it.
No.
Were you by yourself when you did it?
It was me and my boyfriend in the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like I just, there's certain things like I said, like I love all things scary. Like I watch a lot of scary movies and I think ghosts are fascinating and all of that stuff. But like, I don't do Ouija boards. I don't watch I will never watch Poltergeist again. Like I have,
oh no.
Yeah, like that movie traumatized me. But boards and just like trying to contact people. Like I feel like not to be whatever. Like I feel like I don't need any help. Like
yes.
Yeah.
No, we're peas in a pod is what we are, Trisha, because I'm the same way. I'm interested, but that doesn't mean I gotta hang out with those fools.
I'm just over here trying to experience anything. Like,
gosh. Well, you know what? Stick with me, kid, because they stick to me like glue. I mean, well, now we've been doing this long enough in the apartment that Cassie's gotten to experience some things. So
a couple things.
Yeah. And you have your sage and your Palo wood and all that.
I don't have Palo. I'm going to be doing some different herbs. I do have a friend who is part native background that gifted me some sage, but I don't want to buy more of it just because I know there's definitely some complicated things around that. It's the white sage in particular. It's like an endangered plant.
Okay.
Want to be respectful of like the piece of like that's their culture, that's their history. I mean, it's a very spiritual and religious thing. So mainly these days I'm doing crystals and I'm working through the sage that she gifted me because I feel like in this instance I think maybe I get a pass, but
yeah.
And I need all the help I can get, but I'm gonna be doing some research on I'm ready to start like showering in holy water if need be. Well, I told you the last time I had a really good spook was in the shower, and I was like, that's my worst nightmare. It reminds me of like the shower scene in Psycho, but like with a ghost. I'm like, no, that's like, it's when you're at your like most vulnerable,
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm like, great. Now I have shampoo in my eyes.
I was telling Cassie before, but like we had a house, like this house, luckily, like I've been really good about making like a vigilant effort, like every full moon, and then not even just full moons, but like just anytime I feel like, okay, something's not right,
Yes.
getting myself back on track. But the house we lived in before, it was literally like a haunted house. Like it was horrible. Like it got to the point where like people wouldn't come over for dinner. And
oh my gosh.
I love to have people, like I'm a big people person and I have friends and I like to entertain, and my daughter wouldn't sleep in our room. We had to like put her in our room on a mattress on the floor. I mean, it was awful. And I think that's what I learned, my lesson, that like you need to be you need to be careful and not dive too deep unless you're really prepared to like
yeah.
of that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think enough people have learned the hard way. I don't think I need to blaze that trail, so to speak.
No.
So yeah.
Everyone's looking at me, I feel like, you guys. Quit calling me out. You need to be careful, Cassie.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. That's the thing. And that's the part I feel like is like kind of what like is intriguing, or, you know, like oh, I want to feel it. I want to see it. Like I want to be able to like be there and actually see with my eyes and like embrace it. And then once it happens for me, I was like, no, I don't.
No. Yeah, you might think you do, but yeah.
Or like if there was just a way that you could like just have it come like a little bit, you know, and then you're like, oh, it's gonna go away really quickly.
But you don't know what you're gonna get.
No,
you can't just get a little bit. You can't guarantee that it's not a hostile entity. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, is like you get what you get. Like,
and this they're tricksy too. They'll trick you. Those demons.
They will. They'll do what they can, and they can literally like they'll make you sick, physically, mentally, emotionally. Yeah. So I have my sage behind me, and I have my candles, my crystals. Like I put them over here and like set a little thing before we started, because I just wanted to make sure. I mean, this is a pleasant, happy conversation, but
yeah.
Anytime you dive deep in that.
But it kind of is a protective thing, I find, for myself. Because actually, I mean, where we record in our, desk space where I do the majority of my research and everything, I have my sage, my crystals, all of the things. I have several candles too, because I specifically picked some candles that are infused with different types of herbs or oils that, are supposed to have a protective quality to them. I'm like, yep, I'll take everything I can get. So my desk space, tell me you have ADHD without telling me. That's what this is over here. It's looking pretty gnarly right now. That's why it's out of frame.
No, it's hidden.
Yeah.
So do you want me to ask you a question, Cassie?
Yeah, sure.
So in a perfect world, what would you want it to be like? Like, what are you looking for? Just like anything, like any kind of reassurance?
Yeah, any kind of reassurance. Because I've had a couple of things happen where like I didn't really realize they're paranormal. Like there's one episode coming out, I think it's next.
Yeah.
Where I had an experience. And at the time, like I didn't really think it was. I didn't know the place was like haunted. And then after, as I was doing research, I was like, oh my God, that happened to me while I was there. Like,
girl got spooked.
But then I'm like, was it really? Was it just my mind? Like, I just want something to where like, I know for sure I cannot explain it to happen. So I'm like, okay, now I know.
It's funny because my husband is like, we've been together almost 20 years, and he is like total opposite of me. Like he's just like, if he doesn't see it, doesn't believe it, and even if he sees it, there's got to be an explanation. And so, oh
my gosh,
just like a little bit of evil part of me, like when we lived in our old house towards the end, when I was like, told you so.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that
to say about it. Like,
is he a believer now?
Oh yeah.
Oh good. Oh wow.
Talk about it. Like we don't talk about it, but like if it comes up in conversation, like, or whatever, like I'll be like, if I'm like explaining a situation, he'll be like, yeah, that happened.
Oh.
And so I'm like, no, it did. So yeah, he's a believer, but he also doesn't like scary stuff. So
Aw.
Me and my daughter.
Well, I'm glad you guys moved.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't a question. Like, it was just like, yeah, we had to move. And at some point I'd love to do research on that house. And well, I have nightmares about that house too, but it's not an old house. So I feel like it probably was something I brought in, unfortunately.
Oh no.
That's
Something
what-
attached to you.
That's what my boyfriend keeps saying. He's like, this apartment didn't seem haunted before you got here.
Oh no. What's true?
Like, I've spent my whole life trying to avoid that. I was like, I think it's jealous of me. That's, I think, what it is. But
I
we
think so, too.
affectionately refer to it as our ghost now. He's on board as well. It's funny when they come around.
Yeah, it is.
You're right, babe.
Exactly. Okay, I believe you now. Can you believe the way? I had this one situation, and I mean, it's totally not. I have like kind of a warped sense of humor, I guess, but something happened. Like, it was really serious situation, and we had my daughter, and we were at that time had another kiddo living with us, my goddaughter, and we were all eating dinner. I love to cook, so I just like spent all day making this dinner, and we were at our big table or whatever, and we're going around and like just saying like what our favorite part of the day was, because that was like a thing that we did at that time. And I have this, yeah, and we have this, like, I still have it. It's upstairs, but like this old antique, I don't know, just like a little container that I put my sage in, and and so I had it, and I had it pushed back where it always is, like on the table, and we're going around, and at that time we knew that like the place was haunted. We were just kind of we had a priest come in, priest came in twice.
Wow.
I had crosses in every one of the rooms. I was salting, I was saging, I was willing it away. I was doing everything I could to just keep some sort of normalcy in the household. And so we're going around the table, and my goddaughter she's about 13 at the time. My daughter was like 7, and we're just about ready to eat, and she turns white as a ghost. I'm in front of her, like we're sitting across from each other, and I'm like, what's the matter, Haley? And she's like, it's behind you. And like, what's behind me? I just felt like breath, and I'd had it happen before, because we called it head and shoulders, because all I could see was its head and shoulder out of my like peripheral view. I could never, sorry if I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I told you I have ADD. I'm going to go on a tangent. Like, so anyways.
Oh my God. No, we love it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, Haley. And then she just starts bawling, but she's like almost like paralyzed. She can't move. And so I put my hands in front of her. I'm like, okay, Haley, it's okay. And she's like, it's right there. And I knew it was there because I could feel it. Like I could feel it. It was right here, and it was like hot breath. And it was almost like the best way to explain it is like a leech, almost just like right here. And I'm not kidding you. You asked my daughter, who's upstairs right now, my sage, all of a sudden it flies off the table in the container, across the room, off the table, and the table, it was pushed all the way back against the wall. So it was like at least a foot, 2 feet, just went, and then it went onto the wood floor and went to little pieces. And we all just like sat there, and we were just like, okay,
oh my
God. Happened. And then Haley starts screaming and like runs down the hallway. And my husband looks at me and he's like, I believe you. Will you please make it go away? Like that. And so that's what made me think of it. Because he was like, I believe you. Now fix it.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how to fix it. I'm like, what do you want?
Did you invite this? Can you ask it to leave?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Your poor daughter.
Oh yeah. She still talks about it. Cause like, that's like, I mean, for any age, just traumatizing, but like, it's from like when she was 5 to 8, we lived there. Yeah. And she would sleepwalk, and she doesn't sleepwalk anymore, but she would sleepwalk, and we lived on a cliff, and like it was awful. We ended up having to like get a bell for her door, because she would like get up in the middle of the night and go outside. She'd unlock the door, and go outside.
Oh
And like
my
I was afraid she was
God.
gonna like go off the cliff because we lived off
Yeah,
water.
that's scary.
Yeah, it was horrible. And whenever I'd like, because you're not supposed to wake up, so
Right.
I'd like walk her back in the
Right.
house, and she would tell me like, I'd be like, when she was awake, she'd be like, people wake me up when I'm sleeping and make me go outside.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
oh my gosh.
like, oh.
Speaking of people waking
That
up.
is terrifying. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Ah,
So the house was definitely not fun times.
Oh,
no. Oh my gosh.
that is crazy. I wasn't expecting all of those scary stories.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh.
Well, and
That's what I'm really scared of a lot of times more than anything is I've definitely have had experiences here where it's messed with me and it got to the point where I was like not sleeping and my physical health, it was really taking a toll. But when it started messing with my dogs, it seemed like, and it was like every night and it was miserable because they were miserable. So we were miserable.
Yeah.
That was the worst part.
that's when it becomes like not, it's never fun, but that's when it becomes
No.
scary to me because then I've
Yes.
lost all control. And there's a part
Right.
of me that feels like, there like anything in life, there's good and bad entities. And when you get a bad one, they like can make you sick, I think. And then when
Definitely.
you're like in a low point, they can kind of just take over.
Yeah. And if they're affecting like children and like pets, they don't know what's happening. They don't know how to protect themselves from it.
Right.
So it could like affect them more because they don't know, you
Yeah.
know?
I was actually working, and I'm pretty sure. So McCormick and Schmick's you guys are familiar with Jake's? Yeah, so I
Mhm.
was working at Jake's at that time, whenever that happened, and so I think I brought something back from
Yeah.
Jake's because Jake's is really old too.
Oh,
Oh.
Jake's
interesting.
is almost as old as the original. Yeah. So my
Wow.
theory on that was that I brought something back from Jake's when I was working there. Then
Ooh. We'll have to look into that
Yeah.
building.
yeah, Jake's would be a
Did
fun one
anything
to look into. They used to, I don't know if they still do, but there's a pool down in the basement that is, my manager told me, is like completely haunted. You're not allowed to go down there anymore. But
a pool?
yeah, like Jake's actual restaurant itself, because there's a hotel attached. They have a non-functional
Oh.
pool, but it's been there since the building was around, it's been around for a long time. And he told me that he worked there for quite some time, and he said, and he's funny. He's like, I believe in ghosts kind of, but now I really do. He's like, went down there just to check it out, like, because everybody was like, there's a pool down there, and it's an indoor pool, and it's just like, anyways. And so he goes down
An empty
Wow.
indoor pool,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
right.
Oh.
And he went down with like somebody from work, and he said when he went down there, like all the lights were off, and so he turned the flashlight on his phone to try to find a light switch. And so he like tried it over and over and over again, and it wouldn't turn on because there was like this, next to the pool is like this little area, like where I guess the person's checking you in would sit or something. And so then he goes in, opens the door with his flashlight, and then the lights go on down there. And he said it was just creepy. It was like this empty pool, and
There's nothing creepier than
I know,
that.
right? And I don't know why
Seriously.
pools are scary, but they're just scary. Like,
No, but empty.
Yeah. Like Ghost Ship. Have you
Oh.
guys seen that movie?
you're like
There's like an
yeah.
yeah.
No, thank you.
So, but as he was leaving or whatever, because he saw what he needed to see, and he's like, all right, well, he was like, it was fun while it lasted. And then the lights went on in the place that like the lights wouldn't, when he kept turning them on, and then went off, and then went back on, and then went back off. And then he's like,
Oh,
leaving now.
no.
Like,
All right,
Oh
I'm
my
out.
gosh. It was like, haha.
yeah,
Wow.
I never got to see the pool,
That
though.
was freaky.
At that point, I think I was pretty much traumatized from my living situation. I was like,
Yeah.
No
No more,
kidding.
please.
I'm not going down there. I don't
Right.
need any more ghost friends.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, well, it's getting close to time where I'm going to have to go. But did you have anything else quickly that you wanted or needed to say?
No, I just
Oh my
no,
gosh.
reaching out to me and letting me share my stories. And
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate you guys for what you're doing. Seems like it's a really rad job. I'm in massage school right now, so I'm about to graduate from massage school and start my journey
Oh
in
my
that.
gosh.
And
That's
That's awesome.
awesome.
thank
Congratulations.
you. I listen to podcasts while I'm studying, and
Yeah.
so thanks for having me on. And if you ever need
Thank
any spooky
you.
stories, like I've got a lot of them up here.
Yeah.
There.
You
My
know where we're at.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Wow.
much for telling us your stories, for sharing part of your life with us. Because you reached out to us. So thank you so much. Because the
Yes,
episode
that was
definitely
awesome.
wouldn't have been what it was without you.
Yeah, I think we needed to be told.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
Thank you.
thanks for telling it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. It was so nice talking to
Yeah,
you.
you as well. You guys have a good rest of your day.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye. Have a
creepy ass day. See you next Tuesday. So, for all of you that are listening, if you have any true crime or paranormal stories that you want us to share, maybe with the whole Pacific Northwest.
Yes, we would love to read them on the pod.
Yes, we will read them out loud.
Not just in our heads.
Yes. They don't have to be from the Pacific Northwest if you would like to share. Email us at pnwhauntsandhomicides@gmail.com. It's all spelled out, no special characters. Super duper easy peasy.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Same thing as the email at PNW Haunts and Homicides, all spelled out, no special characters. Please also rate and review us on whatever platform you're listening to, and check out our stories on social media because our meme game is hot.
Agreed.
And if you agree, like Caitlin, you can also find us on Patreon and support the show.
Bitchin'.
So myself and and another cocktailer and then a server all got pregnant at the same time. And then we had another
Oh my
cocktailer.
gosh.
Oh, right? All by different people.
That's a good
I'll
thing.
throw that out there into the universe.